In this video, I'll be showing you every single thing you need to know about sets to get started in Python. Okay, so sets are a built-in data type in Python used to store collections of unique items. Okay, what this means is that a set contains unique elements. That is, you can't find one element occurring twice in a given collections of items. Okay, they are unordered, meaning that the elements do not follow a specific order. That is, if for instance you enter a set of numbers, and then if you want to print, once you print, the printout might be unordered. That is, it might not be as arranged, it might not be the same sequence as the output might not be the same sequence as the code. Sets are useful for membership tests. That is, it is used to check if a specific element is part of a set. It's used in eliminating duplicate entries. Yes, for instance, if you have a list of elements, to eliminate duplicate entries, you use the set to do that. And performing mathematical set operations like union, intersect, difference, and symmetric difference. I'll explain this in the course of this video. So now the first thing I'll show you is how to create a set. You can create set in two ways. Okay, so the first way to create a set, let me say s is my variable. To create set, use the braces, then insert element into it. Can be string, can be float, integer, whichever. So now print type s class set. So this is how to create a set. Okay, the other way to create a set, let me call this empty set. Just type in the inbuilt function set and then print print empty set. Let me print the type as well. Let me print the set. Okay, so as you can see, the set is created and then the class is set. So these are the two ways to create a set. Okay, now to insert element in this set, all you need is just to create a list and then convert it to set. For instance, let me say set with elements equal to, just create a list or a tuple, whichever one. So let me use list. Let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then just type in the input function set to convert this to a set. Okay, now print Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So as you can see, it's set. Okay, so if I print the type, so you can see that it's actually a set. Ctrl V. Can you see that class set? So this is how to insert values into the empty set you've created. Okay, so the next thing I'll show you is The next thing I'll show you is the basic set operation, which include adding and removing elements in a set, and as well clearing a set. Okay, so now to add an element, okay, I want to add an element to this set with element. I want to add 7 to it. Okay, so to add that, Ctrl V dot add, use the inbuilt function add. I want to add 7. Okay, so now print Ctrl V. Can you see that 7 has been added? So if for instance I want to remove this same 7, okay, again use the inbuilt function remove variable dot inbuilt function remove, and then I want to remove 7, okay, print so 7 has been removed. So this is how to add and remove elements in a set. Okay, let's say for instance I have a set of numbers, a set of elements rather, and then I removed an element that is not present in the set. I'll get an error. Like for instance, let me say v dot remove, let me say I want to remove 10, which is not among the set. Okay, print print this. Can you see that I have an error because 10 is not part of this set? So to be able to do this without having an error, you use the discard inbuilt function. Discard. Okay, it will just the output will just be the actual set of numbers without an error. Then another way to remove an element is using the inbuilt function pop. Pop just remove the first element in the set. So if for instance variable dot pop okay, so now print Ctrl V. Okay, I want to print the pop's value. Okay, so to print the pop value, let me call this P, so I can print what was popped. Okay, so now print P, print P. Okay, I use the lowercase, the P was an uppercase. Okay, so this is basically what pop does. It pops the first element in the set. Okay, so the next thing I'll show you is how to clear the elements in the set. So to clear elements in the set, use the inbuilt function clear. Okay, so the variable dot clear clear. Okay, print let's execute this. Okay, so it's now an empty set. So the next thing I'll show you is how to know if an element is a member of a set or not. So if for instance I have a set of elements. Let me say I have a set of elements 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for instance, and then I want to know if 6 is a member. Okay, print print 6 in st. Okay, so let me try to put an element that is not here. Print 10 in st. Okay, let's run that. So this is true, 6 is present, why this is false. Okay, so if you want to find out if an element is part of a set, you use this to check. Okay, the next thing I'll show you is the mathematical operation, which is the union, the intersect, the difference, and the symmetrical difference. Okay, so the first I'll show you is union. Okay, union is just basically combining two or more sets together. Okay, so if for instance I have set 1 which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 for instance, and then I have set 2 which is equal to, let me say, 2, 5, 6, 7 for instance. Okay, so to combine this, use the union inbuilt function. Okay, so let me say for instance this is, let me call this union sets is equal to, okay, set 1 dot union set 2. Okay, so if I print union underscore sets, see that the two sets have been combined. Okay, so the two sets has been combined. All right, and if you notice, 2 did not appear twice. 2 appeared here and here, but it did not appear here twice because sets always return unique elements in a given set of elements. Okay, you can union more. You can union more than 2 sets. For instance, I have another set. Let me say 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 for instance. Okay, what you just have to do is comma s set 3. Okay, to combine everything. So the next I will show you is the intersect. This is just basically the element that is present in 2 or more sets. Okay, so for instance I have sets. Okay, let me just say intersect underscore sets is equal to set 1 dot intersect set 2 print intersect sets. Okay, intersection. Okay, so basically the intersection between set 1 and set 2 is 2. And the next thing I will show you is difference. Okay, difference just removes the intersect between 2 or more sets and gives the unique element in a specific set. So if for instance, let me call this difference. difference. Okay, so now let me say difference set is equal to set 1 dot difference set 2 print difference sets. Okay, so basically what the output is a unique element in set 1 that is not in set 2. You can as well turn this the other way around. Set 2, it will display the unique element in set 2 instead of set 1. Okay, can you see that displays the unique element in set 2? So that is basically how to use the difference. So now symmetric difference. Symmetric difference just basically gives the unique elements in set 1, set 2 or more number of sets. Okay, it discards the intersect between the two sets. So let me say SD is equal to set 1 dot symmetric underscore difference set 2. Okay, print SD. So basically it prints the unique element in set 1 and the unique element in set 2. So the next thing I'll show you is the set method, which are basically checking if set 1 is a subset of set 2. Let me create a new set of elements. Let me say num1 is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then num2 is equal to 2 3 4 5 5 8. Let me add another one. 6. Enter. So now I can check if set 1 is a subset of set 2. What I mean by subset, meaning that all the elements in set 1 is present in set 2. Okay, so to do that, just print set 1 dot is subset num2. Stop num2. I wrote num1. I wrote set 1. Num1 is subset num2. Okay, so that's false because all the variables in num1 is not present in num2. Okay, so now you can as well check if num1 is a superset of num2. To do that, print num1 dot is superset num2. Is false because num1 is not a superset. That is, all the elements in set 2 is not in set 1. So this is basically all you need to know about set to begin Python. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in my next video. Bye.